Welcome back to another video. I'm Roadhog Aid, this is Project D. So it's a little bit of a different video this week, this time. Just letting you know what happened last weekend. Didn't quite go to plan really. We went to the Max Power reunion show, which actually was a really good show. We were up at 3:30 in the morning, which was quite early. Up before that, we were on the road at 3:30. Got to the show, no problems. Had a good day at the show. Got upgraded into the main hall, main arena. Saw some lovely cars. Yeah, overall, the video's on our channel. Overall, the show was really good. Weren't till the journey home that things started going a bit tits up, really. On the way back, coming up towards the M6 tolls, D's battery light came on. Not always a good sign, and realised that the battery weren't charging, the alternator weren't charging the battery anymore. So, just one of them things. So we ended up having to pull over just after the M6 tolls on the hard shoulder and call in for recovery. Took a while for the recovery to get there, then they set a patrol out. I had said on the phone that the alternator had gone, but their policies are they send a patrol out. Patrol guy agreed, then said he was going to put a battery on it just so he could drive it to the next off-ramp. I personally thought this was a bit sketchy. But he weren't happy about being sat on the hard shoulder under a bridge on the M6. So he puts a battery on it, we start driving, and the battery's just discharging way too quickly. We ended up going from being broken down on the hard shoulder to broken down in lane 1 on the M6, which is not ideal because literally before it broke down we just passed a sign saying no hard shoulder for 5 miles. So that wasn't ideal at all. He put another battery on it and we managed to drive it another 400 yards to an emergency lay-by, that was handy. And then when we opened the bonnet, the alternator was smoking quite heavily, so I managed to disconnect the battery quick and realised that as well as the alternator not charging, it had seized up and was shorting out. So if I hadn't disconnected the battery, it would have either fried the battery or caught fire. So, good job we did. And then we sat there in the lay-by for what seemed like forever until recovery motor come out, flatbed. Guy was really nice, really helpful, quite conscious about not marking D in any way, which was good of him. Eventually got it on the flatbed and he took us to Newport Pagnell because the policies of the RAC and that, they're not allowed to, well, they don't take you all the way home. So he took us as far as Newport Pagnell, some services there, and we sat there for even more hours waiting for another recovery motor. Another one turned up, but that wouldn't go low enough to get D on. Recovery guy, can't fault him as well, really nice, and he didn't want to risk it, so he did any damage to D. So then we had to wait for another recovery vehicle, another nice guy, he got it on, and then he took us 35 miles to South Bims, because that was all he was told to do. So it was another little journey for D, going up and on recovery motors. Check the videos out.
does touch, it's literally going to touch. That's it. Yeah.
And then we sat at South Mims until daylight. RAC, we were in contact with the RAC. They kept saying, oh, it'll be half hour past, and that. We eventually spoke to a woman who obviously just come on shift at RAC, told her it had been 15 hours since we broke down. She wasn't too happy about that. She said she'd give us a ring back in about 20 minutes, and literally 10 minutes later another recovery motor turned up that she'd obviously organised, and he brought us home. So again, really nice recovery guy, didn't want to damage D, he was very careful, very particular about it. All the recovery guys, can't fault them, they were great. They really liked D as well, which, you know, I did say to them it's even better when it runs, but there. So we got D back home, ended up getting home. I walked through my front door at 9:30 Monday morning, so it was, what, about 30 hours out the house and awake, which wasn't ideal. Luckily I had Monday booked off work, so Monday was just a write-off. I ordered an alternator, started to put it on outside the house, realised that the actual tensioner, the pulley on the tensioner, was starting to fall apart as well for some reason. So I might. So this is the tensioner then. As you can see, there's no way I was going to put that back on. Don't know what caused it, whether it was just the heat or the belt spinning on it, but it's all the way around. So no way I was going to put that back on. And then this is the alternator, which is absolutely seized solid. So the clutch on the pulley lets it turn backwards, but forwards, nah, that's seized. So it's seized up, and then that's what caused it to nearly catch fire and burn out. One of them things. We live again though. But that was falling apart, so then I thought, right, I'm not even going to bother trying to risk running it on that. So ordered another tensioner for it as well, and belt. They turned up Friday, so Friday night I ended up putting D all back together, getting it running, all good. Somehow we'd lost a couple of bolts out the plenum because we had to take the plenum off to do the alternator. Somehow a couple of bolts had fallen out since we put the plenum on, so we put some new bolts in with spring washers, so that shouldn't be an issue anymore. Yeah, and D's back and running now. We're on a little road trip now to Norwich to see our good friend Darren. So he hasn't seen D yet this year, so we're going to go there, have a little chill out. But yeah, that's basically it. It wasn't a great weekend, but on the flip side of it, what happened was just a mechanical component failure, something nobody can predict. You just can't. Alternators on these, they are quite weak, well they do go a lot, so nothing to do with any of the work we've done on it. You know, it wasn't a fault like that we'd caused with all the work we've done on D. It's just one of those things. No point getting upset about it or angry about it. We just overcome problems. So D is now back up and running. Had to get it working because next week we're at the Festival of Wheels show on Saturday with DC UK. See you there if you're there. And then the Sunday we have got a video shoot with a YouTuber called Nightfall Drives, Doug. He's really keen to get the story of D out there, so that's nice of him. I'll try and get a little bit of video footage ourselves of the day so we can put that up as well. Obviously I'll get some video footage of the Festival of Wheels just for the channel, keeps it ticking over. But yeah, so that's next weekend, that's a full weekend. And the weekend after that, we're at Silverstone for Ford Fair with Fast Forward magazine. So, good show, big show for us again. Looking forward to it, because like I say, we're on the Fast Forward magazine stand, so hopefully we'll get a lot of exposure there. Last year at Ford Fair, it was a really, really good show for us. We made a load of nice new contacts who hopefully we'll bump into again this year. And we can show them what their help has done, what they've achieved for us. So looking forward to that one. Like I say, again, we'll get some footage from that as well. It's been a bit of a different video, this one, I know, more of a vlog, but as there's no shows this weekend, I just thought I'd update you on the life and trials of D. Like I said, no point getting upset about it, it's one of them things. It's fixed now, hopefully. Well, it is fixed now because we're charging, we're driving it. So hopefully there won't be any more issues with it, but it is what it is. You know, I mean, considering what we've done to D, the fact that we stripped it to a body shell and rebuilt it, I think D has been amazing, and all the students have worked on it should be massively proud of themselves, because I am proud of every single student that's worked on it. And this car means the world to a lot of our students, more than people understand. So I'm proud of you kids, students. I am proud of all of you. Well, that's about it for now. I'm gonna sign off until next week when I can upload another video of the Festival of Wheels. We're only there on a Saturday, and yeah, so see you soon. Thanks for watching.